City boy, city boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And you know we gotta go ahead and do a Monday Night Raw review, baby. And what can I say about this show that won't get me immediately kicked off of YouTube, but it still suffice enough to say that this show was absolute garbage, ass, and more garbage and more ass. Okay? Let's just jump right into it, man. There's not too much to go over as far as the show notes themselves, but I definitely have a whole lot to rant about. So let's get into it, man. So we start off the show obviously with some walkouts, everybody walking into the arena, no big stars walking into the arena. AJ Styles did get driven in by somebody who won the Daytona 500, I guess, so I guess that's cool. Or the Indy 5, I don't fucking know. I don't watch NASCAR. They're making a left turn. I don't watch that shit. So after this, we get a recap of the KO, Sammy beef, everything that's been happening over the last couple of weeks, right? And then Sami Zayn makes his return, if you can even call it that, all right? He says, he comes into the ring to make his promo, okay? Says no two superstars have ever been tied together like these two. I guess we're just going ahead and completely forget about somebody like Randy Orton and John Cena, who's basically their entire careers tied together, but we'll forget about that. And they actually are good at what they do. 2 stars for real, but whatever, okay? Says that, you know what I'm saying, all the way from the indies, from the backyards to the indies to NXT, all the way into WWE. They've always been tied together. There's been a lot of betrayals and stuff like that over their careers together, but that this time is different. Now, I don't know how this time is any different than any other time. They're trying to harp on this, he tried to end my career this time. Now it wasn't about sending them, it was about ending my career. Sure, buddy, sure. Whatever. He talks a little bit more. Adam Pearce comes out. He's like, what the fuck are you doing out here, man? We already talked about this. I said no. Nick Aldis said no. The board said no. Medical said no. So this match can't happen. Sami Zayn basically says, hey, man, you already know me. You know what my career is about, man. I don't back down from anything. You know what I'm saying? I want this fight to happen. Adam Pearce goes ahead and says that basically if he were to make this match happen, it would have to be something that he had no liability for. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a no-holds-barred thing. If anything happened to him, he couldn't stop anything. Sami Zayn tells him, well, that means that if anything happens to Kevin Owens, that means you can't stop me, right? And they basically set up an unsanctioned match at Elimination Chamber. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean that we're going to have an unsanctioned match? It basically means we're going to have a no holds bar, no disqualification match, okay? Pretty much anything goes, and whoever wins is basically going to be like almost like a last man standing match, okay? Whoever gets knocked out first, all right, you know what I'm saying, they lose the match, all right? That's basically what we're going to see. We've seen this 1,000 times, but they're going to call it an unsanctioned match, okay? How would I have booked this, huh? How would I have done this differently? I would have carved out, if I'm Triple H, I'm just carving out a nice 10 to 15 minute slot, all right? I'm carving out a nice 10 to 15 minute slot in the Elimination Chamber card. If they want to do it in Toronto that bad, I'm going to carve out that 10 to 15 minute spot, all right? And I'm going to have Sami Zayn make his return there, okay? He's going to make his return there. Kevin Owens then comes out and attacks him. They get into an absolute brawl. They're going through tables. They're going through ladders. They're fighting in the crowd. Then I would have the security come out, okay? I'd have the security come out, try to break them up real quick, and then Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis come out hand in hand, you know what I'm saying, skipping like the little butt buddies that they are, and I want them to call off the security guards, okay? Call them off and just let them fight. Tell them, let them fight, okay? They let them fight, and then whoever the fuck wins, I don't care who the fuck wins, but that's how I would have booked this situation. I'm not going to set up some bullshit, unsanctioned, quote-unquote match, all right? But whatever. That's how I would have done that one. We move on. Okay. We move the fuck on. Next up on the card, we get a Who Attacked Jade recap. So they show the video that they showed on Friday of Liv and Raquel walking away from Jade Cargill, who was going into the ambulance. Okay, that was basically that. Judgment Day, they're backstage next. Dom, for some reason, is mentioning adding a new member to the Judgment Day. For what? I don't know. Aren't there already 5 motherfuckers in there? Carlito doesn't even do anything. Carlito is a complete jobber. During this fucking promo, okay, or this backstage segment, Carlito got disrespected 3 times within 60 seconds, bro. Like, first of all, they started off, he's talking about how, something on the video game, how he's getting some DLC, but it's not that cheap, or it's not that expensive, it's only like $5, some shit. He's talking about some video game, alright? And, Dom and fucking Liv, they're over there, and Dom just brings up the fact that they need a new member, but every time he brings it up to Finn, he gets shot down, alright? Fucking, Finn walks up to them, is like, what are y'all talking about? Liv's like, hey, we're just talking about how, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna go over in your match tonight, and how excited we are to see whoop Seth Rollins' ass. And then, Finn is basically like, yep, after tonight, there's gonna be 3 members of the Judgment Day in the Elimination Chamber. It's gonna be, Liv, it's gonna be me after I beat Seth, and Raquel. If you know what I'm saying, if you win against Roxanne, because it will be pretty fucking embarrassing if you were to lose to Roxanne, which is facts, okay? That is facts. I don't care how long she stayed around in the Royal Rumble. It's not like she got a shit ton of eliminations or anything like that. She was just sticking around, sitting in the corner for most of the fucking fights, so whatever, right? But, so, that is facts. She says that would be embarrassing, and then they move on from there, right? Carlito comes up, and Liv, like, fucking, grabs him by the head and, like, pushes him out of the way. Like, what the fuck was that, right? I don't know what it was for. Okay, he was coming up to say something, and she just grabs him by his head and pushes him out of the way, pushes him out of the camera angle. Okay? And then, after that, Finn walks away, says no new members. Alright, Dom starts to walk off and says, Carlito, come on. And, you know what I'm saying? He's just sitting around, and Raquel and Liv are like, what are you doing? Like, why are you still here? And Carlito's like, oh, okay. Then he runs off to Dom. That paycheck must be so fucking good. That paycheck must be so excellent, okay? So excellent. Because there's no way that this fucking legend, Carlito, is getting treated like this. I'm not saying Carlito had the most grand career the first time that he was around, okay? He was a bit of a mid-card jobber, alright? But he did have some success the first time he came, alright? And when he came back, I thought, shit, this might lead to something, alright? Carlito is built like a fucking tank now, right? Like, when he first came, he was built like me, alright? When he first came, he was built like Nate the Great, alright? But now he's built like he's built like 3 Nate the Greats, okay? He's a fucking, a tank in that motherfucker, a fucking machine. He looks like a machine, okay? And he's treated like a complete jobber. I don't understand why he decides to stick around. It has to be the paycheck, okay? That paycheck must be fucking amazing, alright? But whatever, alright? We move on, okay? I show Speed on a stream talking about what happened to him at the Royal Rumble, which was 3 weeks ago at this point. So why are we seeing this now? I don't know. Somebody can tell me, okay? We move on to what would be the commercial break, but if you don't have ads on Netflix, what ends up happening is Big Joseph goes over Bayley's travel itinerary, all the things that she did last week, everywhere that she went, from Raw to NXT, then she went to SmackDown, and then she went to no, she didn't go to SmackDown. Then she went to the All-Star Game. Then she flew from there from the All-Star Game to NXT Vengeance Day, and now she's here on Raw. Okay, so they went over that for some fucking reason, like the people would care. Okay, next up we get Dom versus AJ. We're about 35 minutes into the fucking. Yeah, we're like 30 minutes into the show at this point before we get our first match, which is insane, but this is what happens, okay? AJ starts off the match, he's dominating, Carlito kind of gets involved, turns the tide a bit, okay? And, I mean, we already know how this match was going to go. Carlito tries to get involved towards the end, AJ, like he tries to get in the ring. He's like stepping into the ring. AJ Styles runs up to the ropes, kicks the ropes. The ropes kind of fly into, Carlito's, cojones, right? You know what I'm saying? Flies into the nutsack, and Carlito spits out his apple. That was a funny, kind of a funny spot if I wasn't already pissed off at everything that's going on so far. Okay. And Dom then attempts a roll up. AJ kicks out, ends up hitting the Styles Clash, and he gets the win. All right. We move the fuck on. Cause like, we move the fuck on. Okay. Dakota Kai versus, Ivy Now. That's up next. Okay. We don't have to talk about this match. The only thing that I want to talk about in this match, first of all, Dakota Kai won. All right. With no storyline. All right. Dakota Kai 1 has no storyline. I had to go back through my notes while I was in the show. While I was watching the show, right? I had to go back in my notes to see the last time that we saw Dakota Kai in the ring. Okay. Now it was last week. It was last week in a meaningless throwaway match that was a tag team match with Liv, and Raquel versus Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Okay. Dakota Kai lost, or no. Io Sky won. Yeah, she won because she rolled up, she pinned Raquel, I believe. Okay. Before that, the last time we saw her, let me go back through my motherfucking notes again so I can make sure that I'm giving you the accurate information here. Before that, the last time we saw Dakota Kai was on the January 13th episode of Raw, where she lost to Lyra Valkyria. So no storyline here, okay? At least Ivy Now had some kind of a storyline going in where Chad Gable is expecting championships when he comes back, okay? She's been talking shit to Lyra Valkyria these last couple weeks. Then she goes in and gets jobbed out by Dakota Kai for no fucking reason. This shit makes no fucking sense to me, alright? But whatever. We move on, alright? We move on. Jay Uso's decision of him talking about Gunther, you know what I'm saying, choosing Gunther, that gets a recap, okay? During what would be the commercial, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they have an interview with Pat McAfee. All right, well, this might not have been what would have been the commercial. I don't remember. Okay, this show was already pissing me off. Okay, so Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they have an interview. Okay, they're in the crowd. I don't want to even talk about this interview because it's meaningless. It's pointless. They have done nothing since returning to Raw. The only thing they do is have promos and interviews in the crowd. Ever since they got back to Raw, that's all they do. They sit in the crowd like fans and they have interviews. I think Grayson Waller dropping the beer belly and getting that six pack and actually taking the gym seriously these past few months, I think that was the worst thing that he could have done in Triple H's era, because now he actually looks like he can whoop some ass. Okay, he actually looks like he can whoop some ass now. So Triple H is like, nah, y'all can't. Y'all don't have any spot now. Y'all can't have anything now. Like, Triple H hates anybody that has a decent body. Okay, like anybody that has that looks like they can whoop a little bit of ass, they're gonna be off in the stands some fucking weird. Oh yeah, before I even move on, I forgot that Braun Breaker. Hold on. Let's skip back a couple of matches real quick, okay? Braun Breaker, he came out during the AJ Styles match, okay? After AJ won, Braun Breaker was about to hit the spear, and AJ made him look like an absolute fucking jobber, alright? So Braun Breaker looks like a jobber. I don't know what the fuck they have going on with Braun Breaker. He hasn't been in a match since Saturday Night Main Event a few weeks ago. Just take the title off of him at this point. Just take it off of him at this point, okay? I think Braun Breaker has so much potential, and he absolutely could be a world heavyweight championship contender at this point in his career, because he's better than 99% of the people that are on Raw at this point, which is why Triple H doesn't have him on TV anymore. He got too over, okay? He got way too fucking over, okay? So whatever, okay? Now, okay, we move on, alright? So, Gunther, alright, he's getting ready to cut a promo. He's coming through the crowd. Now, I would say this promo, I'd give this promo a B+, alright? I would have given it something a little higher if he didn't call wrestling a sport, alright? I would have gave it something higher, but this was a B+ promo. He's coming through the crowd, alright? He's talking shit to the kid, almost, he got a bit of a laugh out of me when he told the kid that he would smack him, right? Little tiny kid, like 6, 7 years old, said, get out of the way if something happens to you, alright? And he's walking through the crowd. He's talking shit about Jey Uso, right? Talking shit about the crowd. He says, I'm not going to perform for y'all tonight, okay? Because me performing for you guys would be like reading Shakespeare to a dog. That was a pretty good line, all right? He says that all the people got him hyped up, got Jey Uso's head so hyped up that he decided to choose Gunther. And if when he whoops Jey Uso at WrestleMania, the blood will be on the hands of all the people that hyped him up, okay? Now, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense because Jey Uso could have chosen Cody. He might have been on his way to choose Cody, but Gunther decided to come out and provoke Jey Uso by whooping his ass from behind, no Diddy, right? Beat his ass from behind and basically just told him not to do it. So, any man, right? Any man is going to say, all right, I want you then, motherfucker. It was actually Gunther that provoked him, but whatever, okay? He's talking shit, right? Gunther's talking a lot of shit. He walks up to Pat McAfee, jumps on the announce table. He's starting shit to the announcers, right? Pat McAfee, he like challenges Pat McAfee, basically. Pat McAfee picks up the mic. He's like, look, one night only, anything can happen, okay? Pat McAfee is getting ready to take off his headset. Here comes Jey Uso, okay? There's security surrounding him, and, there's security surrounding him. He's trying to get there. He gets around the security, runs into the ring. Gunther gets into the ring. Jey Uso beats the brakes off of Gunther. Jey Uso just beats the absolute dog shit out of Gunther. Lays the smacketh down on Gunther. So all that hype, all that heat that Gunther just got, all that heat just dissipated immediately because now he looks like a little bitch running away from Jey Uso. Now remember last week when I told you that there is no storyline here. They already told us what the storyline is going to be, okay? When Gunther said that every week that Jey Uso, from the time that Jey Uso chooses him, every week is going to be living hell for him. That basically means there's going to be a brawl every week. And that's what we got this week, okay? So, I'm right, okay? That's it. That's all that this is about, okay? I'm right, okay? Because there is no story here. Gunther comes out, cuts a scathing promo, right, on Jey Uso, and Jey Uso comes out, they brawl, but Jey Uso beats the shit out, okay? There's your world heavyweight champion, okay? We move on. Liv and Raquel, they have an interview with Kathy Kelly. They neither confirm or deny the allegations of attacking Jade, say that they're focused on their on Raquel's match tonight with Roxanne, so that was absolutely pointless, okay? Jey Uso, after this, Jey Uso, he is walking backstage. This is during what would be the commercial. All right, he walks backstage, runs into the New Day, okay? Kofi just outright compares this run to Kofi Mania, right? We already know that this Jey Uso run that he's going on right now, okay? This is Hunter's version of Kofi Mania. So Hunter had Kofi go out there and state outright that this is going to be just like Kofi Mania, except, you know, obviously the New Day are heel now, so they're like, okay, we can't wait for you to go out there in WrestleMania so you can lose, right? Jey Uso says the New Day suck. The New Day then run into Pete Dunne. They call him Butch. Butch then says, the New Day suck. Alright? That's all he has to say to him. He walks out. He's getting ready to have his match with Penta. Alright? Before the match, they show the recap of Pierce setting up the unofficial match, quote unquote, right? And so after in the recap promo, Pierce says that this match is going to be unofficial. Okay? And then right after they stop showing that, match says, so it's official, guys. This match is going down. Awful commentating. Whatever. I just have to throw that in there, okay? Next up, we get Penta versus Pete Dunne. This match is nothing to write home about. We've literally already seen this fucking match, okay? But Ludwig Kaiser comes out during the match. Penta ends up winning with a Penta driver. Kaiser ends up whooping Penta's ass, you know what I'm saying, after the match. Then Kaiser gets pulled out of the ring by Pete Dunne. They get into a brawl for absolutely no reason, okay? Then Penta takes them both out with, like a flying senton, a flying moon, somersault, whatever the fuck, okay? I don't care, all right? So, like I said last week, it might have been last week or the week before, this is going to be the match. It's going to be Penta versus Ludwig versus Pete Dunne in a triple threat match. Okay, this might happen at WrestleMania on the pre-show or some shit like that, but I hope it happens on a Raw because this should be nowhere near a pay-per-view of any sort, of any kind. Okay, this shit should be on a live show somewhere. This shit should be on NXT. Okay, this shit should be on LFG. All right, and we'll talk. I have a video coming out about LFG most likely tomorrow because I watched the first episode of LFG on Sunday. Ass. Okay, ass. But we move on. Okay. Kathy Kelly goes ahead, interviews Jey Uso. Jey Uso says absolutely nothing, okay? She asks him about how he's feeling, about all the people that are, you know what I'm saying, underestimating him. He then says, yes, I am underestimated, but I'm a Royal Rumble winner, okay? And I'm going to beat Gunther, and I'm going to become the World Heavyweight Champion, okay? He says absolutely nothing of consequence, okay? This is what I mean. This is what I be talking about when I say these motherfuckers say nothing when they have promos, okay? Nothing. This is bullshit, alright? What the fuck did they even have that interview for besides to waste my goddamn time, okay? Excuse me, Heavenly Father, alright? Roxanne Perez then gets her own vignette because she's getting ready to have her match against Roxanne Perez and against Raquel Rodriguez, okay? During what would be the commercial, Vic Joseph interviews Dakota Kai, okay? Basically says, Dakota Kai basically says nothing, says that, you know, her career's been through full a lot of ups and downs. This is going to be an up for her. All right. She's just showing that, you know, she came back and earned her way into a number one contenders match, even though she absolutely did not. All of her last few matches, she has lost. Like I said, she only had one match this month, which was a match that she lost in a tag team match. No, she won the tag team match, but Io Sky got the pin. So I don't see how that affects her getting a singles opportunity, but whatever, right? Then, not only that, last time we saw her before that, it was when she lost against Lyra Valkyria, okay? So, that was a whole month prior. But we move on, okay? Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez, that's up next, okay? But before we get that match, the War Raiders, they cut a vignette, right? They get a vignette where they're talking about, you know, how the Creed brothers aren't ready for war. They're not war ready, right? They've fallen down a lot of times, and this won't be the last time they get back up. Just some generic jobber bullshit. All right, whatever. We move on. Seth Rollins has an interview with Kathy Kelly. Seth says absolutely nothing. Says that Finn needs this win, but he needs it more. So he doesn't have any more words to say at this point. It's time to go fight. So why did this even happen? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. Alright. I skipped over the Roxanne and Raquel fight. Oh, who cares, right? Roxanne won because we already knew that, alright? And then Naomi and Bianca come out and they confront Liv and Raquel, alright? They're getting ready to hit some kind of double KOD on Liv, but Raquel pulls her out of the ring, okay? But yeah, during that Seth Rollins interview, he walks away. Karrion Kross then comes out after Seth Rollins was talking. Karrion Kross basically is talking to Sami Zayn, says that Seth Rollins thinks that he's going to beat the Invisible Man, which is John Cena, at the Elimination Chamber. Says that Jey Uso really thinks that he's going to beat Gunther, and Sami Zayn, there's still time to turn this around. What is Karrion Kross doing? What is this? What can Karrion Kross go out and actually fight somebody? Can Karrion Kross actually go out and fucking do something consequential? What the fuck is this? What is this? What am I watching here? Every time I see Karrion Kross on my TV screen, he's bullshitting. He's talking about how somebody isn't living up to their full potential when this son of a bitch isn't even living up to his full potential. This motherfucker hasn't done shit. I don't remember the last match he had, okay? The last match he had wasn't it like a fucking 8-man tag team match or some shit like that with the fucking the Wyatt Six, who aren't even on TV anymore at this point? That was like 3 months ago at this point. What the fuck are we doing here? What is Karrion Kross here for? Somebody explain this to me. Alright? We move on. Vic Joseph, he interviews Ludwig Kaiser, who says the same thing that he said 2 weeks ago when he said that all the shit that Penta is getting, that's the stuff that Ludwig Kaiser should be getting. Who cares? All right, Io Sky, she gets her own vignette, right? There's a lot of vignettes happening tonight. She gets her vignette where she's basically saying, yeah, I used to beat Rhea all the time in NXT. I respect Rhea, but I know her better than she knows herself. She's going to punch her ticket to WrestleMania, and this, that, and the other. She's going to win the championship. Who cares? All right. The New Day, then they come out, they cut a promo where they say the same shit, once again, that they've been saying for the past 2 months since they turned on Big E. Okay. They're going to say this. They said the same shit. All right. They're talking about the same shit. They got the same beefs that they've had for the last 2 months. All right. Where they're going over and they're crying about Rey Mysterio kicking them out of the locker room and all this shit. All right. Saying that the people should be thanking them, okay, for putting Rey Mysterio out of his misery, okay, and that Rey Mysterio should be thanking them for giving him a few more vacation days that he can spend with his wife, all right. So there's that. LWO then come out, fucking what's his face at this point? Dragon Lee. He comes out, he cuts a promo half in Spanish, half in English, so I didn't really understand what the fuck was going on. But then they all brawl, okay. The LWO beat the shit out of the New Day, okay, because it was 3 against 2, all right, and they run away, and that was it. Naomi and Bianca come out, they get an interview where they basically say, all right, we still don't know exactly what happened, all right, so nothing of consequence happened, okay, they still don't know what's going on. They're still trying to figure out if Liv and Raquel has something to do with it, even though they just came out and just started to beat the shit out of them, or tried to beat the shit out of them. And so whatever. They said they're gonna move on. They're still gonna figure this shit out. All right. Next up, we get Seth versus Finn. Now, we don't have to really talk about this match, but there is something that I really, really want to talk about in this match. Okay. There's one thing that I want to talk about in this match. Okay. One fucking thing. Finn did not kick out in time. He did not kick out in time. The referee counted 3. But because they didn't hit their timer, okay, because the match technically wasn't supposed to be over yet, the referee acted like he counted to 2. The entire audience saw it, okay? Everybody at home saw it if you were watching at this point. I don't know how you could be watching at this point unless you're a motherfucker like me fucking reviewing this shit, alright? This absolute garbage shite, okay? The ref counted to 3. Okay? Finn did not kick out. And he's telling Seth in the middle of the ring, no, it was only 2 and 3/4. And then 2.5 seconds later, Seth Rollins actually wins the match. They hit two more kind of spots, all right, where Seth Rollins, we forgot to bury Finn's coup de grace one more time for a good measure because his coup de grace doesn't mean shit, hasn't meant shit for like 6 years now. We got to bury that one last time, okay, before you get the pinfall on Finn. The match only lasted 1 more minute after that, like a minute and a half or so after that, before Seth got the pin. So if Seth Rollins was going to win the match anyways, he was going to win anyways, what the fuck harm could it do? Besides making the ref look incompetent, besides making you, Triple H, look like an absolute jackass, dumb fuck piece of shit, alright, who doesn't know how to actually book anything creative. The only reason we have these fucking 50-50 booked, time-wasting, bullshit, fuck-ass matches that last 30, 45 minutes, an hour and shit, alright? The only reason why we have these matches is because you don't know what to do with the time. So you throw your wrestlers out there, tell them to go out there and damn near kill themselves for this fake fight, look like absolute jackasses, because you don't know what to do with the time. We all knew from the moment that this match was announced 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago at this point. Who cares? Who fucking cares? We all knew that Seth was going to win this match. And then I'm sitting here watching this shit. And I have to see the ref count to 3. But oh shit, it's not time yet for the match to be over. So I actually counted to 2. Even though Finn did not even kick out at all. Let me take a drink real quick. Seth Rollins wins. Looks up at the WrestleMania sign like a fucking child. And then the show goes off. We cut to black. This show was absolute garbage. This show was ass. This show, I don't know what else I can say about this show. This show was the definition of a filler episode. Because nothing happened. Especially nothing that we didn't think nothing that we knew was going to happen, or nothing that we didn't know was going to happen happened. Maybe besides the Dakota Kai win. That was kind of unpredictable for me. I figured that they were setting up Ivy Nile for this fight with Lyra, so they might as well pull the trigger since they've been going back and forth for the last few weeks anyways. But Triple H can't even get that right. Nips that quote-unquote storyline in the bud for Dakota Kai. She wrapped those lips so tight around that dick this weekend, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Raw is just so fucking bad right now, bro. Like, SmackDown is leagues better right now. It's not even a competition at this point. SmackDown is simply better. It is the A show at this point. Even though Raw is on Netflix. Even though this should be the show where anything can happen. Even though this should be the show where they're pulling out all the stops every single week. Even though that should be the case. Because they're on Netflix. And Netflix is spending $500 billion. Not billion, excuse me. $500 million every single year for this show to be on Netflix. They will have spent $5 billion by the end of this shit. And this is the shit. This is the best that Triple H can do. Did this show get you hyped for WrestleMania? Did it get you hyped for the Elimination Chamber? Because all it got me hyped for was the end of the show. When Netflix says thank you for watching. That's all it got me hyped for. The absolute end of this show. I give this show a complete 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Every match that we saw tonight was a rematch of some kind. Okay? Every promo that we saw tonight, we've seen it before. Nobody said anything consequential. We didn't even get some kind, like a bit. We didn't even move forward in the story a little bit with the Jade Cargill situation. Not even a little bit. Not even slightly. Jade Cargill is so disrespected at this point. I don't even know what to say. Fat 0 out of 10. Okay. We'll have some videos up tomorrow, but I gotta wash the bullshit off of me. I gotta take a shower. I gotta wash the bullshit, the chicanery, the fuckery off of me. Okay? I gotta wash it off of me. Because this show was absolute garbage ass. Alright? Let me know what y'all thought about this shit in the comments. Alright? This has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And I'll see you. Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.